So right now I'm on 400. That's about as hot as you really need. You don't need to do any more than that on someone who doesn't need a lot of heat. So I go in sections the long way. I try not to go across unless you're doing those, what do you call it? Those glam waves where everything kind of falls into one section. Then I make sure my sections are horizontal. But when I'm doing beach waves and I want them to be elongated, I make sure I'm going vertical. So, I'm going to take my section, my very long section. I'm going to start at the root. Sorry, start at the root and twist and move downward. You never want to rest in one spot because you don't want to burn the hair. So you want to keep the heat constantly moving. So what I usually do is I curl in opposite directions if I want it to stay messy and, you know, airy and things like that. If I curl in the same direction, they melt together. You know what I mean? Where after a while the curls kind of look like one big curl. So when you curl them in opposite directions, they fight against each other and they stay separated. So because that one I did backwards, actually I'm going to do all the front ones backwards so she can have that. There, faucet teeth. Moving fast, but consistent all the way around. There's no twisting involved. We're not twisting the hair before we flat iron. This is all flat iron, like flat curls. And it creates that beach wave once you separate it because of the section. So right now it looks like a regular curl. And at the end, when you pull them all out, it creates that wave, especially on hair because her hair is so long. And sometimes if you can't make it all the way to the end without, you know, going too smooth, stop and pick up in the middle. Sometimes when people have super long hair, you know, you can't really stay as consistent all the way through. So what I'll tell people to do is like continue to twist. And if they have to stop, release, and start back right where you picked up. And finish it out. Now this, you can twist a few times if you need to. It doesn't have to be just once. And twist all the way around, or straight. But you don't have to. It depends. Depends on the client or your preference. Anybody want to come and try? No? Look at y'all. Exact bang. I'm going to make sure that we kind of create that bang look by starting the curl a little bit higher. And still leaving the ends out. So when they fight against each other, get out this way. They'll stay separated. See what I mean? So they don't end up forming into that same curl. They stay light and airy, which is how I like it. So that's what my clients get, whatever I like. And you're okay? You don't feel any heat on your scalp or anything like that? Okay. Let me know. To create the curl to be a Shirley Temple curl or something like that, I could do that too. I won't elongate it. This way I'm kind of moving downward so that the curl is long. It's hanging down because that's how I want it to sit. But if I wanted it to be like a tight, let's see if I could do one, a tight, regular curl, I twist and I twist all the way to the end. You don't leave the ends out if you want that perfect kind of curl. And I can even, just like how I dismounted the brush, you can still twist out like the curl. So you see the difference? It's like this one hangs long, this one kind of springs up. It just depends on what kind of curl you're looking for. So again, starting here. I like to do the front all backwards because usually people like their hair going out. Just depends. Worried about sectioning. I realized that sometimes when my sections were too perfect, I could see my sections after the style was done. So I try to keep my sections imperfect almost. Sometimes I'll even like zigzag my finger through just so it doesn't stay straight lines all the way through. So these were going back, I'm going to do this one forward. And the same as the brush, you only pick up as much hair as you can control in the flat iron. Too much hair gets overwhelming. Too much hair, you can't see enough heat actually. Like the hair can't feel all the heat all the way through. So you want to make sure you have just enough hair to be able to get the heat through and just enough hair to control. Okay, long section. So when we're going to start in the middle, I'm just going to start right here. Taking all of my curls here. Sorry. Starting in the root, twist, pull, and down. Constantly moving. So at this point I'm kind of pulling just because I don't want her head to be all stretched back. So this one's going forward, so we'll do this one back. And usually I try not to comb it all out until the end. And really, if my clients are traveling or going to a party later, sometimes I'll leave them like this and I'll tell them how to pull it out later. You can even do pin curls with these. For pin curls, I purposely leave the fish hook, so I'll twist. You can even do the twist if you want. I usually don't. And then I'll leave the ends out because I like the beach waves to kind of have it. It's all right. You do it and finish off where you left. See,
That's okay.
Starting in the root, and I immediately twist. I don't, immediately twist into the way that you want to curl. Okay. Immediately twist, and you keep twisting. So you have long hair, so I would, sometimes you have to stop in the middle and finish out the ends.
I think that's where I mess up because I'm good like halfway, and then I can't, for some reason I can't finish it on myself. Like
take it halfway. Take it halfway out, and then kind of click to release it, like tap the flat iron to kind of release the hair, and then do the second half. I know some people who even do, I think Cantrell was the last person that I saw on his page do it, will do their curls all the way halfway for the first part, and then halfway through they'll switch to the other side. Just creates a cool look. If you want the hair to look legit beachy, like they just got from the beach, that's a good way to do it too. And sometimes I'll even, to keep the volume, I'll keep pinning the curls forward. Not necessarily in pin curls, if you don't want to. But just to make sure that it's not falling downwards, if you don't want it to, pin it forward. So I'm twisting, I'm still twisting. I'm holding her hair so she doesn't, and I'm going to stop here in the middle just to make sure we get the whole thing so it doesn't come out bleh. And then we keep going. and I'm still pulling downwards because that's how we want the curls to look like they're hanging down. Sometimes when they're too bouncy, that's when the blowout comes out to like bouncy Shirley Temple, which is totally cute if that's what you're going for. That's not what we're going for today. And you can redo. Like if you see that one part of the curl is more curly than the other and you kind of want to go back, you can. It's okay. Just make sure you're not resting, so that, because that's where the heat damage comes from, you know, kind of too much at one time. No chill. To start back my curl. That way you're not overlapping one hair you've already curled, and you can get it all the way to the end. I love Redken's styling products. Has anybody tried any? They've recently came out with a cool blow dry line that I really like. Okay, I'm going to tilt your head forward this time. So we're going to try to get rid of those parting. So we do a little head massage and zhuzh a little bit. Oh, the blood isn't rushing up to your head, is it?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. And you just separate them with your fingers. Some people use a comb. Sometimes I use a comb. It just depends. Those little flyaways. Oh, and don't neglect the kitchen, okay? The back area is always, that's the second place to go. And when people put their hair up, they want it to be just as smooth as the top. So the kitchen is important. Okay, all right, give me your best flip. Nice. Pretty. I'll let you kind of see it on your own, but yeah, I like. What do you guys think? Cool?
Wow.
You think you could do it?
Stand up so we can see.
Yes, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, not bad.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And at night, you can try putting, doing a twist bun.
Oh, okay.
I kind of tell people if they don't want to do pin curls, pull your hair all the way to the front so you keep the volume. Just twist it.
Two different ways, or
you could do, yeah, you could do, I mean, I did them all in different ways. So you can do two buns going in opposite direction, same direction, and leave the ends out if you want them to be still straight. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, guy.